everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to Kirsty and Briony's Comfort Zone.
I am Kirsty.
And I am Briony. And we are here to dive into the world of dreams and figure out what the heck is going on in our heads.
What is happening?
What is happening?
What is happening?
I'll tell you what's been happening with me is insomnia, and not the fun game thing. just straight up insomnia.
Oh no.
I think it's been a combination of things that's caused it.
Right.
Partially, I'm going on holiday, which is very stressful.
It's inherently stressful, yep.
Because all of a sudden, I went from having like time off for Christmas and then back for a little bit. And then, and I was so good at making sure I didn't do any work over the holiday. I was like, I'm going to take all of this time off and be good. But then it just means that I've had to squeeze all of the work that I have to do to get ahead into 3 days. So I've had like 2 weeks of work to cram into time.
Bloody hell.
So that's been a bit stressful. And then I finished my audiobook. And every time I'm between audiobooks, it's stressful. I've not had time to start a feely book.
Why is that stressful?
Because it's like, I get into a good pattern of, I put on my audiobook, it's familiar, I'm picking up where I left off, and I'm like, And then when you get to the end of one, it's like, oh no, now I have to start a new thing, and I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get asleep to that one. And it's just, I don't like the crossover time. It scares me. It's a void. So I've had that. And then I've had that. I'm not reading a fairly book at the moment either. So I just, my head isn't in a story, and that feels really weird for me because usually I have like a world that I can go to.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't have that at the moment. I'm just in reality. It's terrifying. And then there's also just been things like it's been cold, so I've not really been going out for walks as much, so I've not been physically tired.
Yeah.
And then there's also things like the other day we played Blood on the Clock Tower. So I lay awake until like 3 a.m. going, oh, but what if I had have said this and done and if I had have bluffed us this and I had have done, and yeah, I've just not been, the worst it got was when I lay awake until 5 a.m. and I was just like, this is going too far now.
Oh, bloody hell.
Let me sleep. And I always get that thing of like, should I just get up and do work? And then at least I've done something with my time. But then what if I get to sleep in the next 10 minutes? And then an hour goes by and I'm like, I could have done so much with this time. So yeah, it's not been very conducive to good dreams.
Yeah, not great. Not great.
It sounds like a lot of it is you overthinking things.
Yes.
Surprise.
Why have stress dreams when you can have stress awake? But I think once I get on holiday and all of my work is done and I'm away from a computer and there's nothing I can be doing, even if I wanted to, then I will be fine, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm putting a lot of pressure on future me to be normal. But yeah, how's your sleeping at the moment?
My sleeping's been okay, actually.
Sleep check.
Yeah, it's been
a
all right.
jingle for this.
How
have you been sleeping?
How has your sleeping been? Yeah, no, it's actually been all right. My ADHD meds, I think I'm on a good level with those at the moment. And my sleep has improved, thankfully. And yeah, I've had a couple of dreams to show for it. And not only that, but on my bed, I have a teddy bear duvet. So every time I go to sleep, it's like I'm in a nest. I'm just so cozy. So I'm...
Oh, like texture-wise.
Yeah, like literally the duvet cover is teddy bear fabric. It doesn't have teddy bears on it.
Pictures of teddy bears.
No. I
was like, that's very sweet.
That's very nice. No, it's teddy bear fabric. So it's just very soft and very cozy. And I've got a bunch of cushions and I've got tabs sleeping on my head. So I just feel like I'm in a big well of coziness. And it's just very nice, very comfy.
Have you seen that you can get dog beds for humans?
Can you?
Like people-sized dog beds
actually.
That you can just curl up in. And I've been tempted to get one before.
Human-sized dog bed. Oh my
They're
God.
like They're sort of squishy style of ones.
Yeah.
And not the big plastic circles, but yeah, the nice cozy ones. And I have sort of been curious how comfortable that would be.
They do look quite nice.
Tell you what I really want, and if any pillow manufacturers are listening, please sponsor us, because I really want a better pillow, because I feel like a lot of my problems come down to bad pillow. I'm sorry to my pillow if you're listening, because you do serve me well, but I feel like it's never at the right level of comfort, height-wise. And I feel like I could do with one of those. You know the ones that have the little like dip and groove?
Yeah.
I think I need one of those for proper neck support. This is a podcast for people in their 30s.
It's fine. Above. We're talking about things who are sleeping. That's relevant. It's on brand.
Yeah, because I just feel like it's not giving the right support. I don't really know how much support is the right support. I don't really know what your head's meant to be doing whilst you're asleep. Like, is it meant to flop down to the side? Is it meant to be held up?
I don't really know. I sleep in the most awful position, so I couldn't really say. Like, I have the worst posture when I'm sleeping. Would you even call it posture at that point? Like, do you care enough for it to be called posture? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just sort of hunch over. I'm in like the fetal position. I've got T-Rex arms. I probably am not on the pillow. And my torso is probably like twisted. And I probably just look like, I don't know, Gollum or a corpse. But I'm asleep and it's very nice and cozy.
I'm going to search for what the perfect pillow is. But the problem is, you know, when you feel like you're just going to get sold pillows from people who sell pillows. So, of course, they're going to be like, this is the best thing that you need.
This is the best pillow.
We need some sort of government official, unbiased pillow expert.
Yeah. Well, I've looked up
teach us about pillows.
Neck support pillows on Amazon, and they all have that dip in the middle. They kind of look like hemorrhoid pillows.
Yeah. My top search came up with cervical pillow.
See, yeah, because that's back support. I made the joke about it being support for your cervix on stream, and everyone's like, oh, you silly streamer. That's your back, not your cervix. And I was like, thanks, chat.
I mean, it's your neck, your back, your...
True.
Covers all of them.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, cervical pillows. Yeah, it's the same thing. It's
because I'm looking at one and it's sort of like an X.
Yeah, with like the big dip in the middle.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me look up hemorrhoid cushion. They're kind of similar.
Can we please be sponsored by a pillow maker?
They're a bit more donut shaped for the butt.
Is it
I don't think we should be sponsored by hemorrhoid cushions. I mean, if they want, but
yeah,
I prefer a sleeping one for our
sleeping
necks.
Pillow would be good.
Yeah.
But we're open to all pillows.
Yeah, honestly, if they just want to send any kind of pillow, body pillow, hemorrhoid pillow.
Oh, who would be on your body pillow?
Now, you've asked me this before, and I always get stuck for an answer. Oh.
What if we got ones of each other?
Ah. Yeah, I can just squeeze it when I want to see a Briony.
Is memory foam pillow good? That sounded like I was Googling, but I mean, I just don't know how to talk properly anymore.
I have memory foam pillow. It's
Does
good,
it remember?
But no, not really.
Oh.
So it's a bit forgetful. But it's if you don't like a stiff pillow, then it's not good. Because they are like rock solid.
I feel like there should be some sort of pillow subscription service where you try different pillows and then you get to choose which one. How often are you meant to change your pillows?
I don't know.
Because I had this, is this going to be one of my classic sharing too much information segments?
Maybe. We can always cut it though. It's fine.
Just cut the episode.
Cut this.
Okay.
Cut the whole episode.
So actually, do you know what? I'm going to go in.
Bullshit.
But I'm going to go, I was going to say balls out, and I was like, I don't have balls. So tits out. I don't
tits
know.
Out. All right.
Brashly into this conversation because I'm not going to shy away because smash the patriarchy. So because environmental reasons, I like those, the period pants, the ones that you can change. And obviously it means that you're not throwing away objects. They're very good for sleeping in, blah, 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 blah. But then I was suddenly like, how long are you actually how long are these meant to last? Because, yeah, you're not throwing them away like every day like you would with other disposable products. But surely at some point they've got like a best before date on them.
Yeah, I feel like they would.
So then I was like, I'll have a search for it. So I searched and it was like, they should last as long as a normal pair of pants. And
right.
I was like, well, I never throw away pants either.
Yeah.
I think I've got pants that are older than people in chat.
We're talking decades, okay?
Yeah. So I'm handing these down to my children.
Family
I don't remember the last time I bought like new pants. It probably wasn't like too long ago. I guess you just don't really remember it because it's not really a momentous occasion. But yeah, I will just wear them.
No, I know what you mean.
And I've got ones where, it's like people make jokes about like men's pants being holy and the elastic's gone and blah, 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 blah. But I've got some with the elastic sort of like bunching out to the side. And I'm just like, if they're staying up, I don't care.
Yep. Literally, whatever.
So therefore, I don't know how long to keep a pillow for.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I think maybe...
If any pants want to sponsor me, nothing sexy. I'm talking like M&S high-waisted granny pants. If you want to sponsor me...
Yeah.
Full coverage pantaloons.
Full pantaloons.
Then you get in contact.
I'm just thinking about this old Reddit post. I think it was like an Am I the Asshole Reddit post, probably fake, of a girl. And she's like, I went to my boyfriend's house to stay over. And am I the asshole because I refused to sleep on his bed while he was using these pillows? And basically he had these pillows on his bed with no cushion covers or anything. And the pillows were yellow, fully yellow, like sweat stained, God knows what else stained, absolutely disgusting pillows. And he's like, no, I can't get rid of them. I've had them since I was a kid and they're sentimental to me. And she's like, I'm not sleeping in that bed. And it was like, it's me or the pillows.
You'd at least put a cover on it, surely.
Yeah. No covers.
My goodness.
I think I would refuse as well.
Yeah.
You can keep your pillows. I'm off. Goodbye.
Oh, I really want a new pillow now.
Get one then.
Got myself excited at the thought, but there's just too many types. Because the other option is getting one of those, the tunnel pillows for cuddling.
Yeah, those are cool.
I've been tempted to get one of those as well.
Just get all of them. The thing is, you have a husband there who also needs to use the bed, which is unfortunate. But what I do, right, with no husband to get in the way, is whenever I buy a new pillow, I don't replace the old pillow. I just add it to the bed. So I have many pillows.
I do sometimes wonder, when your foot goes to sleep, are
they using a pillow?
Is there a limited, this is a science question, is there a limited time where, like, is there a cutoff point where if you don't get your foot awake, your foot dies? Because I sometimes genuinely worry that when my arm is underneath Alex, I'll wake up and I just cannot feel my hand. And I'm like, if we slept in one day, could I just lose my hand because it's just been gone too long? Can that happen?
Well, if you get pins and needles for long enough, what happens? I think, I don't know, because Google's just like, if you get pins and needles all the time, it could be a bad sign. Yeah, but what if?
What if it's because someone's lying on your hand? There's a good reason for it.
Maybe you lose. I mean, maybe if they're laying there long enough.
It'd have to be quite a long time, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there is always that like little moment every day where I start thinking, is today the day?
Is this it? Is this goodbye?
But Yeah, so that's why I've often thought about, oh, maybe we should get a little tunnel pillow so that my hand is safely tucked away. And also, sometimes my hand is too high and it just has to touch the cold wall, and I don't like it. It's nice in summer having a little bit of a cool down on the wall, but we don't have a headboard, so it's not protected.
I feel like headboards are quite old-fashioned, aren't they?
Yes, or depending on the style of it, quite sexy.
Oh yeah, true. True. I had a big, like, old-fashioned headboard when I was a kid, like the sort of squidgy ones, they're like a big pillow.
I had a wooden bed that was basically, because when we moved into our house, my sister's room was being decorated for a few months. So we had bunk beds, but the ones that you can, like, just stackable beds, basically. So her bed just went on top of my bed. And then when her room was done, it got taken out. But it just had like I'm trying to think how to describe it. Just looked like a bed, like the bed emoji. just a standard bed, but with a bed on top of it.
Like a bed emoji. I see. Like two bed emojis on top of one another.
Yes. But then I got my cool bed years later. I got my bed that was a tall bed that you could pull out the desk and you could climb underneath, you could crawl. And that's where I would steal things from the bathroom and make potions.
I always wanted one of those beds and I never ever got one.
I was a proper little raccoon under there because there was a time when my parents were getting rid of our sofa because they for some reason they wanted to improve the house. And I took umbrage to this and I stole the sofa cushions of the sofa they were throwing away that was like my childhood friend. And I stole the sofa cushions and I put them under my bed. And I would just go and sit on the sofa cushions when I missed the sofa. And I refused for like a month to sit on the new sofa because I thought it had betrayed the old sofa. Oh, I think I've always been too attached to inanimate objects.
Fair. Honestly, I can see myself getting like that. I kind of remember having similar feelings when we got a new sofa as a kid.
Yeah.
I just didn't have a raccoon bed to steal the cushions and put them in.
I did the same when we got a new car. I was very much just like, who are you? Who do you think you are? Come around here.
Oh dear.
But yeah, do you want to hear a dream?
Yeah,
right. This dream. What day did I have this dream on, you ask? Why, 'twas Christmas Day.
A Christmas dream.
So I guess this was, I woke up on Christmas having had this dream. So I guess, I don't know, I guess I did dream it on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I'd say you probably had it on Christmas Day.
Yeah. Okay, let's go for it.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
I had a dream that I was in this arcade and there was a karaoke machine that Katie and I were using, and we were trying to sing a song by is it Eiffel 65, you know, the Blue people, and we put it on, but it was this completely other song. It was like K-pop or something, and we couldn't really sing along to it. And then loads of other people started showing up, so it turned into more of like, everyone just uses karaoke, and we never actually got to sing anything. And then the next day, I was working on a film set again. I think it was like a TV show, and I went in and I was like saying hello to like the other clapperloader and all this stuff, and then the camera operator who was on I used to work with was like, hey, just so you know, it's polite for you to sort of say hello to the camera team, you know, start with the operator, then go down to the first AC, then the second AC sort of thing. And I was just like, okay, I'll say hello to you first, don't worry. He was like someone I used to work with on Holby, and the group I worked with was there too, and it was the same thing again of I was trying to, this time there was only like 2 cameras, So I said to the other loader, I was like, oh, I'll try and, give me time, I'll copy out your board and I'll mark this. But every time I tried to copy out the board, like something would go wrong. Like the sticks fell off of the board, and then everything I tried to write just wasn't coming out properly. And I was just getting really frustrated, and I knew they were about to go for a take, and I was thinking, I just can't copy any of this. And the things written on the board were all weird. I think the director's name was just down as Miles, and then I wrote Miles, and I looked and it said Kyle. And it was just weird stuff like that just kept on happening, and I never really got anywhere with it. But yeah, the end. Bye-bye.
The end.
Sounds
That
like a
was
stress
so
dream.
similar to my dream that I had the day before.
Yeah, it sounds like you're having a lot of very similar like stress dreams.
Everything is clapperboards. It's just, why has that become my brain's way of, because again, it's the thing I was saying last time of like, when I'm trying to do something and it's coming out wrong, and I think it's that thing of not being able to put my thoughts into words or my feelings into words, and it's just like miscommunication and not being able to express myself, and it's just all of that stuff again. But it's a clapperboard again.
Do you have something on your mind? Like, are you sitting there saying like, oh, this is fine, but really you're like, no, this is not fine. Like, because it seems like there's something that's nagging at you.
Yeah, I feel like I don't even, like, annoyingly, my brain will do this thing where I'll be like, I'm fine. I'm actually fine. And it's not that I'm trying to tell myself I'm fine. I'll just be like, yeah, everything's all right. And then one tiny, tiny little thing will happen. Like, I'll drop a spoon that had chocolate mousse on the carpet. And then I'll be like, that's it. This is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. And I'm just like, where was this before? Why didn't I know any of this stuff? And it's like, it likes to, it's like sometimes it hides even from me.
Yeah.
So it might be that there's something that's bothering me, and I've decided not to tell myself what it is yet. But I don't know. I think it takes me, I guess it comes down to that thing again of like, it takes me that long for me to suss myself out sometimes.
Yeah.
And know what it is that I'm upset about or bothered by.
It sounds
and
like
I just
it.
can't, like, it's like I'm trying to talk in a language that isn't my mother tongue, except I only speak one language. It's like, it feels like that, trying to not being able to express yourself sort of thing. And I don't know how you get good at that, other than your advice before of standing in front of the mirror like a Sims character.
I mean, I think that's the best advice you're going to get. It's the best way to do it.
I mean, I guess it's just one of those things that you'd learn as a child or in your formative years, where, because I guess when you're little, you'll get upset about stuff and you need to learn to understand how to express what it is then. Like nowadays, they have like baby signing, so babies can say without saying, like, my tummy hurts and stuff like that. Like they learn to ask for more of something or say they're upset. Whereas maybe if I go back in time and I teach myself baby sign language, then I'll be better at expressing myself now.
Oh my God. Baby. That's terrifying, the thought of baby sign language.
The babies are colluding.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah. Because I think that's a lot of the reason that babies and toddlers will have tantrums, is just the frustration of, you're not getting what I'm trying to tell you because I have no other way to communicate this. And yeah, I mean, you know how terrible I am, because the number of times that I've been upset about something with someone and you're like, why don't you talk to them? And I'm just like, no, that's not it.
I think
I should just dwell
talk
on
to him.
it and be upset. That seems like the way forward.
I don't think it is, actually. I think talking might be the best way to deal with it.
Maybe that should be my New Year's resolution, is to have resolutions.
At the end of the day, if you've got a problem, sitting there and not talking about it ain't healthy.
Yeah.
So, resolve them resolutions.
It's true. Oh my gosh, that just reminded me of, I saw, have you seen the thing where it's like when you can't afford a therapist, so your friend has to do it for you. And it's the two guys just being like, do you have sadness and depression? And the other one's just like, yep. And then they fall about laughing.
I've not seen that.
Oh
gosh.
I'll have to find it.
Oh dear.
But this is what the podcast is.
Pretty much. That's pretty much the premise here.
Yeah. Free therapy.
Therapy.
But yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, I guess actually, having said what I said last week, this would have been the dream that I had after having an argument with someone on Christmas Eve. So it's probably exacerbated by that, because I very much lay awake for hours going, I should have said this, and I should have said that, and what if I had have done this, and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, it was probably to do with that, because I was very upset and grumbly.
Yeah, that does sound like it probably didn't help.
Yeah, and it was a family member that was coming over for Christmas as well. So I just had that thing of like, oh, I've got to see them, and what if they carry on the argument, and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah.
I mean, that tracks with the not resolving things. Not that you necessarily would have had to resolve it yourself if someone else was also causing an argument. But yeah, just having those things that aren't having those arguments that aren't sorted and talked about is stressful.
And stinky when it's family as well. Because I guess you get this thing as you get older, like you sort of grow up with your family and you test the boundaries, like your siblings and your parents. You spend so many years testing the boundaries, pushing the boundaries, knowing like everyone's limits and how they're reacting if they're upset. And you sort of get to know that. And then when you get older and you start getting in-laws and other people added into the family, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, you're on the level of family because you're family, but I don't know you. I didn't grow up with you, and I don't know. So you just all of a sudden have this new water to tread, and it's a bit weird. I think it was, those sorts of factors were. Yeah, no, I can understand that. Stress. It was a stress dream. Yay! I don't think anything from the dream will be in the book. I doubt clapperboard. Yeah, didn't we look for clapperboard last time? Mayhaps. I feel like you've dreamt about it so much. I feel like you've probably looked it up. Because I guess the reason that it was those people in particular was because I was watching making of TV show. I can't remember what it was for. Some show that my parents watch. Maybe Vera. Okay. And in the background of the person, there's two different sirens going by. I had a good run. Goodbye, everybody. But in the background were people that I recognized who I used to work with. And I was like, I know them. Oh, that's nice. So I guess they were on my mind. But yeah, I guess the clapperboard specifically being a thing is probably because when I was a second assistant camera or a clapper loader, depending which film hierarchy you use. And the clapperboard was the one thing that I would, because you'd be working all the time, but you'd be working whilst everyone else was working, getting stuff set up. But once the camera's rolling, and everyone goes quiet. And then you have to do the board and say like, slate 5, take 3 or whatever. That's the only time where everyone is just looking at you because you're the only one talking and you're the next like thing in the chain. So I guess that is probably the most exposed I would feel in my job.
Yeah.
Because usually I would just be like squirreling around doing things.
Yeah, just like behind the scenes.
Yeah. I mean, the only other awkward time would be I would also have to put down marks for the actors. So the actors would be acting out a scene and I would literally just be like goblining around on my hands and knees at their feet, like putting, every time they stopped, like putting a little dab of paper tape down, just to be like, okay, they stop there. And then they stop there. Because then I'd have to go and stand on those marks for the focus puller to set their focus and stuff. So other than that, which is an interesting time. So I wonder if that is why it's become
the stressful part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone turning to look at you.
Yeah. Very odd.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
But no, I just checked both books and it's not in there, strangely enough. So,
poop.
I wonder if writing is in there because it was very much like I was trying to write stuff and I could, that weird thing where people say that they can't read things in dreams, I could read it and it was wrong.
But can you say what was on it when you woke up?
The only one I remembered was me trying to write down the name Miles and it was Kyle and stuff like that. It was just like I'd go to write something down and I'd be like, there we go. And then I'd turn around and be like, it was just the word had just changed. I was like, I don't understand. Here you go. It says, to dream of writing is an attempt to communicate information that one has. Well,
yep. That's what writing is in real life as well, often.
It says sometimes the instrument we are writing with is important. For instance, a pencil would suggest that the information is less pertinent than with a pen, whereas a typewriter or word processor would tend to suggest business communication rather than personal.
This is my business typewriter.
Business.
Writing as a creative art is meaningful, and as a form of self-expression, it perhaps allows us to communicate when spoken words are inadequate. I got really distracted in that sentence because halfway through, I just suddenly thought about Lucozade, and I just really wanted a sip of Lucozade, and I was like, I'm not listening to the words I'm saying. I'm just thinking about fizzy orange.
Oh. Wow.
So there you go. I mean, that's pretty much what I've been saying anyway.
Yeah,
Communication,
yeah.
But bad.
I feel like writing in dreams is just inherently stressful as well, because even though your brain thinks it knows what's happening, it doesn't. You wake up and it's like, it didn't actually say that.
Yeah.
It's like looking at AI generated text, like it's just nothing. It doesn't mean anything. But your brain's like, yep, that says Miles. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say anything like that. But yeah.
Oh. I looked up the scary book. It says, to dream of writing with the left hand, if you are right-handed, means you will disgrace someone through a secret deceit.
What?
So there you go.
Oh. Well, do you remember what hand you wrote with?
I was writing with my right hand, which is
okay. Phew, that's a relief.
Yeah. How bizarre.
The scary book it never fails to deliver, does it?
The thing after writing in the scary book is wry neck. It says, to dream your neck is turned so that you look backwards, warns you not to go out of the country or engage in new business in case they turn out badly.
Huh?
Anyone in a distant country will return home. What?
That is okay. All right. Thank you, scary book. Thank you so much.
So wild. You never know what it's going to come out with.
That's insane. On what basis? Scary book.
Don't know.
Oh.
Shall we hear your dream? I feel like mine is it's just stress.
All right. Well, mine's pretty stressful as well, so get ready.
Yay!
It's quite I think I've done longer ones. Okay, here we go. Okay, welcome to my dream.
Oh.
Settle in. Okay, so there are a group of young adults on a pier. They're magnet fishing and treasure hunting in the water. They find bits and bobs. They find some old rings. There's like one great big like chunky ring with like a design on the top. But we look it up and it turns out to be a reproduction, not worth any money. They also find lots of small bits of gold knocking about. There are lots of birds around the pier, like just sort of bobbing around in the water. Lots of pigeons, just sort of vibing. But they don't look very well. They all look a bit ill. So the group go to the end of the pier where there's an old brick wall, and they look up to the sky and see a bunch of anchors that are being like manifested. They're like appearing in the sky. And the anchors are like growing chains that then attach themselves to these birds. They like basically attach to the pigeons. The anchors then fall into the water and the pigeons are pulled down with them.
Oh.
And it's like, whoa, okay, weird, stress. The poor pigeons, can we get them out? No. Next thing we know, there's a trawler and it's scraping the bottom of the riverbed and filtering everything that it's getting out. It's all remotely controlled, so everything is like mechanical. There's no people around other than our group of protagonists. And they see, as the trawler like pours the debris from the bottom of the riverbed out, that there's a lot of gold in there. There's a lot of just sort of bits of gold and big gold chunks as well. So the trawler like pours it out, but the group take it from wherever they've poured it and they put it into a skip, which is there for some reason. At which point the group realizes that these bad guys, whoever's in charge of this trawler, have been putting these anchors on the birds because the birds are then pulled down and then they die, and inside of the birds are all of these gold chunks. So it's like a weird elaborate plan to get this gold out of these birds and then collect it quietly so nobody knows what they're doing via the trawler. Next thing we know, the two people behind this dastardly plan come into the room. I can't remember what they look like or who they are, but they come in and they're talking amongst themselves. They are speaking German. I don't speak German, so it wasn't real German. And they say a phrase that roughly translates to, "I like fun as much as the next person, but I'm only human." And that's what they say. I don't know why, but they say that in German and then they repeat it in English so that I know what they're talking about. Then they see the gold in this skip. And things begin to kick off because they realize that they're being stolen from. They get mad, and a member of the group of protagonists that have been wandering around, whose name is Sam, apparently, gets upset because his brother, apparently, I think earlier in the dream, died on this pier while treasure hunting. And for some reason, that's these people's fault. The baddies say, "That's it. We've had enough. We're burning the whole place down." And then the other one goes, oops, sorry. The other one says, "I'm sinking it. It's over." So they both run off. One sets fire to the pier. The other does something to the supports and it begins falling into the water. The pier begins to crumble and Sam yells that he doesn't care anymore. And the pier crashes into the water as Sam sinks to the bottom of the river with the skip full of gold. And I remember seeing like a shot of him like falling down backwards into the water, into just blue, horrible blue water. Then as this happens, another party member is running around the pier, which is now like at an angle because it's falling into the water. They're dressed as a waiter, and they're holding a cup of tea. They've got like a tea towel over their arm and they've got like an apron on. They're like a waiter in like a stereotypical like French cafe, just wandering around like looking for Sam with his cup of tea. This waiter then begins to drown because at this point he's underwater. Then this Sam person who just drowned manifests and says, "I've had 1.5 years to think of a way to save you," because he's just drowned, but then because he was dead, he was in some sort of time loop or time pocket. I don't even know. And he puts this waiter guy in a wheelie bin and then uses a grapple gun to shoot the wheelie bin, which is attached to the gun, out to the surface. But the gun doesn't quite get him all the way when a woman who was in the party then manifests, because apparently she's also died, and like pulls him to the surface. They'd both drowned in game, but IRL at their RPG table, they'd been bargaining with the DM to save the last guy. And the last scene is the party all around a table with an old man who is apparently the DM talking about equations and math. And that was the dream.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It was very elaborate.
Yeah.
Very elaborate.
So when they were like as the party, were they dressed differently? Were they like characters, or did they all just look the same?
They didn't stand out at all. They were just guys. They were just people on a pier.
Yeah.
By the end of it, there were 3 characters, but there were more than that at the beginning. I guess there was Sam, the one that drowned. There was the girl, and there was the guy dressed as a waiter. And I guess at one point there was also Sam's brother who died early on. So 4 people, maybe some more that I've forgotten about.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they all died one by one as this pier crashed into the water, and then they all had to try and save the guy dressed as a waiter who was running around trying to find Sam. And they put him in a wheelie bin and they shot him out of the water. But this is the dream for Rydian, who is probably listening, that I think was somehow inspired by watching The Expanse because of just like the party of heroes in quotation marks. And also the fact that it ended up being a D&D dream at the end, because The Expanse originally was a campaign, and the person running it ended up writing the books that became the show. So I've been watching along with Rydian, who is rewatching The Expanse with that in mind. Like everything that's happening, I'm like, how would this play out in a campaign? So yeah, that's kind of what I've had in my brain. And in The Expanse, like they've got their little crew, which is 4-ish people, give or take. Like more people come and go all the time, with people that sort of kind of match the descriptions in the dream. So yeah, I think this is Rydian's fault that this bizarre dream happened. And yeah, they were drowning all the pigeons to get the gold out of them, the pigeon gold. Yeah, it was very sad.
I looked up some stuff whilst you were talking, and it said, well, the first thing I looked up was anchor, because you mentioned about an anchor at the beginning.
I did, yeah.
And it says, when an anchor appears in a dream, it can generally be taken to be to mean the necessity to remain stable in emotional situations. We need to catch hold of a concept or idea which will give us a point of reference in different situations. So, were they remaining calm when things were happening?
Kind of, yeah. In the dream, I guess. The guy dressed as a waiter was calm. Like the whole place was falling apart. It was on fire. It was falling into the water. And he was just wandering around like, hello, Sam, are you here? Like with his cup of tea and his tea towel.
Yeah.
He seemed pretty calm.
I looked up pigeon and it said sea birds. Mm-hmm. And then I looked up birds and pigeon isn't there. So I feel shortchanged.
I feel like pigeon would get a similar entry to like rat or something like that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, poor little pigeon.
Poor babies.
I mean, birds in general, it says birds in dreams usually represent freedom, imagination, thoughts and ideas, which by nature need freedom to be able to become evident.
But they weren't free. They were anchored down.
Well, it says a caged bird can indicate restraint or entrapment.
Oh. They were very much trapped.
Yeah.
These birds.
Why is it not got pigeon? Peacock, pelican, penguin, pheasant, phoenix. It's got a phoenix, but it doesn't have pigeon?
Strange that it doesn't have pigeon. Pigeons are so common, like...
Yeah. I looked up drowning.
Okay, yeah, big one.
When we are drowning in a dream, this indicates we are in danger of being overwhelmed by emotions we cannot handle. We are fearful of allowing our emotions free expression. Drowning may also indicate a perceived inability to handle a stressful situation around us at the time of the dream. I'm going to look up Gold.
Gold's a good one to look up. I think that sort of tracks as well, because I think I've talked about this before, but recently I've been coming away from streams being a bit like, geez, am I a bit more ADHD than normal? You know, am I a bit too hyper? Am I a bit unbearable?
No.
So that tracks. I'm perfect.
Gold in dreams suggests the best, most valuable aspects of ourselves. Finding gold indicates that we can discover those characteristics in ourselves or others. I guess in other pigeons.
Pigeons.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then the final thing I looked up was pier. It says, dreaming of a pier would suggest happy times and memories to most people. We may have an association with a particular town, or it may simply be that a seaside pier signifies rest and relaxation. Doesn't sound very restful.
It was on fire and crumbling into the water.
Yeah.
In my dream specifically, it wasn't even like an ocean or a sea. It was in a river, like a big river. And like when I say pier as well, like a part of it was a pier. Like, but earlier on in the dream when they were treasure hunting, it was like they'd gone downstairs underneath the pier. It was like brick foundations.
Yeah.
And they were right by the water. It's like they'd gone down the leg of the pier.
Oh. I mean, the treasure hunting part just sounds like you.
Yeah.
The wanting to do the mudlarking
just want to go mudlarking.
Fishing for metal.
More or less.
I'm going to see if the scary book has pigeon in it. I have so many books on my desk. I've just realised. I've just got like, I'm just seeing, because I guess I sit at my desk when I do my book club. So I've just got
you just forget to put them away, don't you?
Books everywhere. There's books that I finished reading months ago that I've still got by my bed. I need to have a big book tidy. Oh my gosh, there's loads for pigeon. Oh, blummin' okay. I don't think any of this is going to be useful, but...
Oh boy, here we go.
I'll read the whole thing, because why not? This is the biggest section on this page. Right. To dream you see a pigeon is a good sign that you will have delight and content at home and success in affairs abroad. To dream you see pigeons flying denotes unexpected, pleasant news and success in undertakings. They are very favorable to lovers as they announce constancy in your partner, but also that the person you love will be absent from you for a long while on a journey. If your lover is at sea, they denote that he or she will have a pleasant voyage, continue faithful, and will return rich. To dream you see a white pigeon flying signifies consolation, devotion, and success in undertakings, provided they are altruistically motivated.
I see. What if they're chained to an anchor and then they get pulled under the water and drown and turn into a gold nugget?
Of all the things it has, it doesn't have that as a subsection.
Oh, that's weird. That's bizarre.
It's meant to be thorough, this book.
How strange.
My goodness. Oh, there is a section on fishing. Is there a subsection for metal fishing?
Probably not, right? I'm trying to think of any more like small things. There was fire, but I feel like fire will be so generic in those books.
Yeah.
And to be fair, I didn't really see the fire because they were like, I'm going to set the pier on fire. And then the other one was like, I'm going to crumble the pier into the water. And so we were underwater before there was any fire, really.
Oh, people who dream of fire often have a fiery temper.
Oh, true. So true.
To see a moderate fire in your grate without smoke or sparks signifies you are in perfect health. Don't worry, doctor. I had a dream about a fire with sparks, without smoke or sparks. So I'm in perfect health.
I'm just
don't you worry. Nothing wrong with me. I mean, it is very like contrasty, it being like a fire of a pier, but that's above the water. So I think that is quite interesting imagery. I mean, if something's going to burn down, a pier is probably a good thing because it'll go out quite quickly.
It will, but then it will be underwater.
Sorry to the people of Brighton if you've not got over your pier burning down yet.
Sorry.
Too soon. What else was I going to look up in the scary book? Oh my gosh, the section on nakedness is like a whole page.
Nakedness? No one was naked in my dream.
Oh, sorry, I was just flicking through the book. I was like, what is this big section?
Force of habit.
Yeah, it just falls open to that page every time.
I will say, I was not in the stream at all.
I was going to ask if you were part of the group.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was purely a spectator in this stream, which I think sort of backs up the idea that it was inspired by watching TV shows, because I was not in it at all. Often, even if I'm not in the dream, I am there in someone's point of view. Like I am acting as one of the people in the dream, but I'm not this time. I was just a cameraman.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I think I have had dreams that I'm not in, but they're very rare, and I still have them in first person, so I'm still in a person, but just not myself.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, really, but with worse words.
In the scary book, it says, to dream of gold signifies that you will be surrounded by great wealth. Oh, which you will be unable to enjoy because of disappointment and unhappiness.
Oh.
Well, I thought that was going off quite well at the beginning there, but not it seems. If you were chewing the gold, it signifies anger.
Chewing?
Yeah. To dream you handle or chew gold signifies anger.
Oh, I guess chew it to like see if it's
like
real.
The Olympic
question mark
do.
Yeah.
Like,
give it a little bite. But gold's really soft, so it's like if it makes a dent, then it's gold, but also then you've got gold with a dent in it.
Yeah. That really cute picture from, was it the Olympics this year?
Yeah.
Where the two athletes were biting their medals, and the person who was on the third place of the podium like looks across, sees them doing it, and then she just does it too. It's really cute.
Yeah,
just all like, so
cute.
We're doing this? How?
This is the thing we must do.
Yeah. Oh. I mean, yeah, I guess it could either be that it is a stress dream about something in particular, or it could just be a story that your brain told to itself for funsies.
Yeah, I feel like it was for funsies. Like, I think having the idea in my head that this show was based on people playing a campaign in an RPG just probably got my brain thinking about it, because I've been thinking about that personally as well, like with my Pathfinder and my Star Wars RPG that I'm doing right now. Like, my brain is 10 to the dozen with all of the things that I'm role-playing at the moment. So to put that on top, it was like, oh, more things to think about. So yeah, I guess it was just the brain thinking about that a bit.
Yeah.
But with extra fire and water. The shot with the water was great, but not great if you have thalassophobia.
I was thinking that, the way that, like, because obviously you've been watching The Expanse and you're not a big fan of space.
This is the thing. As we've been watching it, I've literally said to Rydian, like, I constantly, I'll just pipe up every now and then, like, if someone's just jettisoned into space, I'm like, man, fuck space. And he just laughs at me. I'm like, space sucks. It's too big. It's too big, too vast, too empty. And I'm like, it's just like the ocean. It's horrible. And it is. And that's why I think in the dream, it's just been translated to water.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And it literally had someone just sinking into an abyss. I'm just like, yep.
Your brain was nice enough to not give you space, but it was still like, I'm going to put it in the water, though.
Yeah. Get the water in here. Oh, boy.
Oh, dear, oh, dear.
Yeah, there it is.
2 stress dreams to kick off the year. I thought we've already done one this year. To keep kicking the year.
To keep kicking the year.
Like a tin can down the street of a bored child in the 60s. I don't know, when did people kick cans down the streets?
Whenever it takes their fancy. I don't know if mine was that stressful. It was just the water part, I guess, was. But I think less stress, more just a reflection of what I've been watching.
Yeah,
on TV.
I guess as you had like detachment from it as well.
Yeah, like I wasn't really involved.
Whereas if
It didn't
was
stress me out to see it. I just kind of remember thinking, that's very deep.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if there's something in it, and I might be looking too deeply into this, but with your feelings about streaming at the moment, if you're thinking like, oh, was I too ADHD? Was I too all over the place? I wonder if it is that thing of like the calm of the water, but the craziness of the fire, and if it's just that going back and forth and the two colliding, and if it's like, oh, am I too all over the place? Is there like a lot going on? Emotions, turmoil? Yeah. I don't know.
Stress. Maybe.
I might be looking too deeply into it, but by George, that's our job on this podcast, and I take it very seriously. Leave no dream unturned, I say.
We have to just look at every single one and try and figure out what's happening. That's what we say at the beginning of the episode. And that's what we're doing, damn it.
Get to the bottom of the dream before you dream of the bottom.
Oh, I hope I don't dream of the bottom.
I have to look it up in the book. Wow.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, we've done it again.
Yeah, I hope you like that one. I
did.
I'll
it was
have
very
to try
cool.
and do some audio recordings of my dreams. Like I just on this phone, they just sound so bad. So often I don't get a chance to just grab my phone and record. So we talked about it before, but I need like a little dictaphone or something to record them on.
I'm going on holiday tomorrow, so I wonder if I'll have any holiday dreams.
Oh.
Because I should be. I wonder if it's haunted. I've not even looked up if it's haunted.
Oh my God, you'll have to find out.
I'm going to. Okay. It's called Gladstone Library, and it's next to a cemetery. Alex told me. He was like, oh, it's next to a cemetery. And I just went, He was like, nope. Oh, it says Gladstone Library is not haunted. How do you know?
That's a shame.
How do you even know? Tales of the Supernatural, the library's hidden creature features. Oh, I think they just have books on monsters.
Okay.
Well,
there we go. Well, maybe you can find out if it is like, just because somebody said it's not haunted doesn't mean, maybe they've just not found it yet. They've not looked hard enough.
Maybe the ghost has been shy and I will be the first one to meet them. Maybe. I don't know. I think if I actually met a ghost, I would be so scared. So maybe... Wait, someone says, I could feel the ghost of Gladstone. Oh, I think they just mean the guy who made the library was inspiring them to write a book. Well, that's no fun.
No, that's no fun. You want the real ghosts?
Yeah. To be like, the book is in section 5B. Put it back in the right order. Other ghostly librarian things. Well, on that note.
Yes.
Thank you for a lovely chat, Kirsty.
Thank you, Briony, for a lovely chat.
And a reminder, any pillow salespeople, please reach out and sponsor us.
Yes, any pillows available, we'll take them.
Any pillows listening, send yourself to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.